Did Mirajane just lose? What the fuck? So I'm not gonna lie, this chapter of Fairy Tail definitely felt very unconventional for a Fairy Tail chapter. First you have Mirajane losing in this one, and then you kind of have a destruction of the secret to the power of these people, how they keep on reviving and respawning and whatnot. So definitely very interesting to say the least with this chapter. I felt as though they did a great job with a lot of aspects with this one. It's just a progression, and just overall the fact that somebody lost in Fairy Tail, and it was in a pretty epic way. Like, Sayla for the win with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I love Mira, but Sayla took it. So we start off with the chapter in the beginning, and pretty much we're getting slow progression that Happy's gonna go tell Makarov whatever it was that Hades told him to say, basically regarding the light. I'm imagining that it's gonna play in the background while everything is going on. Once Makarov hears this, he's gonna be like, okay, I know what to do, and he's probably gonna either go to Lumen Histore or whatever the case may be. That's gonna be in the background now. So it's like a small plot device in the back of what everything, you know, is going on at the moment. So good little progression right there, and a good little setup there for what's to come regarding the light that, you know, Hades was telling Makarov about. From what it seems like with this whole thing of how Tartarus keeps on reviving, it seems like a mixture between like the rejuvenation chambers of like Dragon Ball Z or just any other series where you see like they put them in those chambers to revive, mixed with some sort of, I don't know, like a MMO or video game where your respawn is there, and it's like it's a combination of the two. And I feel as though that kind of helped to ground Tartarus and kind of give a little more of an explanation as to how the hell they kept on coming back. Is mainly that little tank or whatever that they keep on showing up in, and ForneverWorld got trolled like a motherfucker. Like, he went there thinking, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna revive. No, you're not, bro. And the whole Tartarus situation, it definitely feels a little bit different than most of the other foes that they've had, because everything with them is like contracts and curses and stuff like that, because it was explained that they pretty much had to make a contract with the demon lord of them to, you know, do this, to be able to respawn and constantly keep on coming back. And in a sense, that can be hacked, so it needed to be, you know, put away with, because if not, Tartarus would just continuously keep returning. So Mira coming in there and getting rid of that, that was definitely progressing as far as the fight with them, that now they're not going to be able to, you know, keep on coming back after being destroyed. So in a sense, that was needed to be done. And I'm liking that, even though it was done, and like, you know, okay, another onslaught on the villains, at the very least, Mira did not overwhelm her opponent, and her opponent came in, and Sayla looking good. Like, I feel as though now Tartarus is really standing up. Last week's chapter, ForneverWorld, even though he lost, he did a damage. You know, he didn't pull the number on these people with Natsu and Lucy and all of them. They had to trick him and everything in order to defeat him. And then with this one, Sayla overwhelmed Mira. It's like she put a fucking curse on herself and went ham. And I was just like, this is what Tartarus should have been all along, but you know what? I'll take it. And I think Hero is now putting a lot more thought into some of these fights. Like, between Mira and Sayla kind of having a similar power, the whole takeover thing, so they had to just go with brute force. And I was just thinking to myself, okay, brute force, Mira's probably going to just own. She's going to go into her demon mode and just fucking beat the living shit out of Sayla. And I was wrong, and I was like, good shit. It's like, it wasn't a typical, oh, I saw that coming, oh, okay, whatever. It was like actually done very well, and I was like, yeah, Hero is stepping it up. Like, with a chapter like this, Mira didn't win, you know, Fairy Tail didn't overcome, but at the same time, it was also stopping this continuous loop where they could just keep on returning. It's like, nobody want to see ForneverWorld anymore. ForneverWorld, good job, good try, you lost, get the fuck up out of here. A little bit disappointed with Lisana's fight, because that was mostly a comical fight. It was just like comedic relief in the background, and I was like, I would have liked to see a little bit more of a serious nature with Lisana, because ever since she's been brought back, which, to be honest with you, I felt the character should have just stayed dead or whatever, but the fact that she was brought back and just, you know, relegated to being a fodder character in the background, and then like, okay, this was a chance to have a pretty cool fight, and it seems as though she was fighting like Mako Makan Shoku or some shit like that, because it was just a really comical fight, and I was like, I would have liked a little bit more of a serious nature to that, to get a little more grasp into Lisana, and give somewhat of a purpose that the character has been revived and you know, been brought back to the story. I mean, she was brought back a long time ago, and she hasn't really done too much, so this would have been a good opportunity to give her a serious fight. So in that sense, I was kind of like, the fight with her and, you know, Sayla's helper was like, eh. And then we get to see the Demon King of Tartarus, Marde Gueli, I believe his name was. Very weird name. And he's holding the Book of E.N.D. So if he's the leader of all of them, then definitely he probably has to have some weird and a lot bigger of a, I guess, technique, because with all of them, obviously, they had their own little thing, their own curses, so I'm imagining that his curse has to be real big, but the fact that he was holding the Book of E.N.D, so I'm guessing one of their major goals is to revive this guy E.N.D, or bring this guy E.N.D from the Book of, you know, Zeref or whatever, and if the theory that E.N.D is End of Natsu Dragneel or something like that, then definitely it's gonna play a pivotal part, and I'm imagining this is setting up to eventually the Demon King is going to revive him. Like, this is my prediction. I see the Demon King reviving him after either an onslaught on him comes along or something like that, and then this monster or, you know, End is going to come out from the book and probably kill him and say, Demon King, you on drugs, mate. But as a whole, I'm not going to lie, this chapter threw me for a loop, and aside from the Lisana fight, I felt as though everything was just done pretty well. And Hero is putting a lot more time into these fights to make them that they're not the same old repetitive nonsense, and, you know, somebody lost from Fairy Tail. I'm still baffled. Like, what? So great progression, overall great setups, and the ending is just like, yo, we got the Demon King, and at the same time we have End, the Book of End. So it's only a matter of time until this End book gets either revived or whatever the case may be. I don't know if End is stuck in that book and they have to do something in order to get him out, and I'm guessing that this book End is one of the big things, that's the actual goal that they're trying to, you know, get. Like, they're trying to have this book revived or whatever, or get End from the book, and either Face was going to help with that, or they were just trying to use Face to stop anybody that will stop them from reviving End. And just overall, this was a great chapter of Fairy Tail. I'm gonna give this bad boy 9 out of 10. It's like Fairy Tail has been getting a lot better lately. It's like good progression, unpredictable fights, and I'm like, yeah, this chapter was off the chain. And I'm still like, why Mira had to lose, bro? But it was so worth it. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, Mira losing that fight, did you see it coming? Do you think that it was a great thing? Like, I personally am still like, yeah, that was the fucking shit. That fight actually came out. Sayla came in and it was like, this is how a Tartarus fucking member should really throw down. And do you think End is gonna in fact be revived or come out of that book at some given point and kill the Demon King? Or do you think that the Demon King is gonna be unable to revive? And I imagine End is going to be revived. And do you think also End stands for End of Natsu Dragneel or something along the lines of that, with Natsu Dragneel being involved with that? Maybe it's an evil version, maybe it's a future version of Natsu. He gets corrupted at some given point, and that's what End means. And just overall thoughts of the chapter. Well, that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for that Mira versus Sayla fight. One of the best fights in this arc. Again, I felt as though with the Wendy fight, and now this one, shit is really changing with Fairy Tail and Hero. Keep it up. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.